especially for citizens facing issues with the Water and Sewage Authority. During the Public Accounts meeting discussing RIC's audit financial statements for 2014 to 2018, TANCO highlighted a lack of public awareness regarding RIC's coverage of WASA issues. TANCO, representing Oropouche West, shared concerns about recurring water problems, with his office receiving around 100 monthly complaints. RIC Executive Director Dr. Michelle Salandi assured that all complaints, including those water-related, are addressed. And finally, Tobago has unveiled playing positions for Panorama 2024 semi-finals in medium and large conventional bands categories. Regarding the Tobago bands, NGC Steel Explosion leads medium band, with Cats and Jammers playing at 3rd position and Carib Dixieland at 8. In the large band category, RBC Redemption will play in 2nd place and NLCB Buccaneers will play in position 11. The semi-finals for both categories are on Sunday, January 28, 2024 at Queen's Park, Savannah, Port of Spain. Meanwhile, in Calypso, 8 junior Calypsonians advance to the Tobago Junior Calypso Monarch Finals. A date is yet to be announced for the event. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
News.
Thank you, Brianna, for that read of using 90 seconds. Viewers, I know this is a season that a lot of people cannot wait for. I personally know some university students who should be in school right now, but they aren't because they want to play the pan. So yes, viewers, we are in pan season. We have interdepartment coming up. Children back to school, and by children I mean those university kids, because even though we are adults, when we come back home we always return to being kids, and it's just an exciting period we are in. I want to send out a happy birthday to Miss Marilyn Spence Jofield. I just want to send a good morning to you and to Biana. Interdepartment is next week.
Yes, Luke.
Have you ever been to interdepartment?
Yes, Luke, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, so we were there last year. It was Kelia and I, we hosted.
Yeah.
It was our first time actually being to interdepartment, and it's so exciting to see the different divisions just coming together but still warring, and we want to see who is going to give the best performance. So last year, I remember our most memorable performance, was it tourism? I think it was tourism that really took us away with the Calypso.
The Calypso competition.
The can. Yes, I remember that specifically. It's really exciting. So Biana, are we gonna see you there next week?
Yes, I will. Promise to be there next week. What I like about it is that they're not doing the traditional queen and whatever. It's more of a tribal setting this year. Yes. So I look forward to see what the divisions will come with.
Yes, because I've been noting the flyers and we've seen the kind of paintings and the symbols of the bodies and so on. And it's really interesting. It have us wondering what are they gonna come with next week. But unfortunately, by that time I'll be back in school, so I don't know if Miss Biana will probably say, "Look, I'll go and send for you. Come, let me go into the department." I'm really looking forward to that phone call.
But you can still, support what division you want to support while you're here.
That's an interesting fact to know which division will be supporting, because I love them all. I used to work at education, so probably that's where my favor will be swinging in. I really look forward to see what education is gonna bring. But at this moment, viewers, I'm just gonna give you the quick rundown before we go to the break. So we have packed exciting rundown for you today. So we'll be getting a bit technical this morning. We'll be speaking with Mr. Anselm Richards, and he is the Division of Finance, Trade and Economy, and we will be discussing the Tobago Development Bank Committee. Next, we will be joined with Ms. Rochelle Frank as we speak about Soca on the Hill, which is a cool effect, and we will be closing with interdepartment. Oh, and I spoke too soon. Education, Division of Education. So exciting day packed, viewers. For those of you who are joining us, remember to share the live, and we'll be right back.
Everybody only worrying.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. Never ever worry, if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true, so just consider Tattle will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tattle, where people are people. You know what I mean.
JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and we are back here on the morning show. And before we get into the conversation, I just want to send to Miss Selma Lashley. Carol is a special morning to you, and Carol. Such ferry service. They predict that the route will take about 24 hours. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, in terms of the time factor for that trip, it's a it's a airline
to make last-minute trips, especially for our birthdays, and most of the times we will not get an affordable flight. So I think this initiative will be one where a lot of young people can have the opportunity to explore other countries at a cheaper rate. But my only question is, what are
for 24 hours.
Are we gonna have a 24-hour pharmacy? Are they gonna increase the food? But all in all, this is an initiative where we can see the food security between our region improving.
And it could be like a family time.
Yeah. That integrate,
yes.
And it was always a problem for citizens of different countries to travel because the plane prices were really expensive. But now that we have the boats, we are hoping that it's somewhat affordable, so we can expect that. So viewers, at this moment, as we bring on our next guest, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spend quality to seek your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster? Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Flo is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up, or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets, so you could wind down in your bed, hosting Blue Friday Limes at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets plus Carnival costumes. Flo bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflo.co for more details. Flo, inspired by you.
Yes, you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it's your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know.
I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay.
Alright.
Let me see the moves for later.
Before your Ramajé, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning viewers, and we are back here on the Tobago Updates morning show. Now for this segment we'll be taking things a bit technical, pun intended, and if you were paying attention to the news you would have noticed that recently a Tobago Development Bank Committee was formed, and here to shed a bit more clarity on what that's all about we have Mr. Amslem Richards, Chief Technical Advisor. Mr. Richards, a special morning to you, and how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you for having me. Good morning Tobago, good morning world, wherever in it you are.
Now, the last time I interviewed you was another technical topic, so I guess it really forms into your title. Now, research would have provided that development banks, they mainly, in essence, they help promote the economic development of small island states especially. Now, for an island like Tobago, we expect that this is going to be a really excellent initiative. For our viewers and listeners who may not know what a development bank is all about, can you explain what a development bank is?
Okay, a development bank is a financing institution that basically mobilizes, its core function is to mobilize resources, financial resources to fund development program in islands or states that are struggling to access that kind of financing in the normal financial services sector. Tobago is a special case. We have been struggling over the years to get the kind of development investments through the budgetary process to fund our development. For instance, last year we got $400 million to fund the entire development program of the island in fiscal 2023. That was reduced to 260 in the current fiscal year, fiscal 2024. That is what we call a cottage type investment strategy that cannot transform the Tobago economy. And therefore, and let me say at this point also that this idea of a Tobago Development Bank is not a new idea. If you go back to the 15-year development plan that was done by PRDI under the leadership of Dr. Varnes James, that is one of the recommendations that is nested or resident in that document. So it's not a new idea, and the idea has been around for some time. But this administration found the political will and strength to really take up this initiative and run with it to some extent. So we are a bit advanced in this stage. So we have a committee that was working probably between seven months to a year, and we have done extensive work. We have an implementation schedule. We have been in conversation with the other international financing organization like the IDB. We have had conversation with the Caribbean Development Bank. We have had conversation on this matter with the central bank governor and the deputy governor and the executive of the central bank. All those institutions and the officials has pledged their support to an initiative like this, because when you put down the economic facts as a history of Tobago, we recognize that we need a development financing institution, style like a Tobago Development Bank. So this is a critical flip for Tobago in our economic transformation, our economic development. And we are pushing ahead with this project. We are looking at the model. It would be in this stage, it does not operate like a commercial bank where you receive deposits and you charge, It will operate on a cost recovery basis, where the interest rate will probably just be to cover the costs, because you want to keep the access to development financing as cheap as possible, if you want to put it that way.
Okay, Mr. Richard. So it's really exciting that although we are struggling, as you say, always demanding more from the national budget, that we could find some way to, find a way around that. It's even more exciting that we are seeing past ideas are now being implemented in this 2024 visionary year. Now, you spoke about transforming the island of Tobago. What sort of transformation can we expect, especially when we look at our entrepreneurs? What can they expect from this development bank?
Well, the core function of the development bank, as stated, is really to make affordable financing for investors and entrepreneurs available, so that can give birth to their ideas and their innovation. But the transformation of the Tobago economy is a bigger ecosystem for all of us. It has to do with the quality of our institutions. So we have to start with and let me start with government. There's really a need for us to fix government in Tobago, including our internal self-government, including of the capacity and capability of the institution that is the THE, to really discharge the functions and responsibility of a modern government. I make no apologies for saying that the current function of the government in Tobago and the government in Trinidad and Tobago, if you see what is happening at the country level, cannot support any modern form of government. There's totally, and the Prime Minister said it about the time we take to process things and forever. Yes. The Prime Minister said it recently. So he speaks to the quality of the institutions and the institutional system and agency that really affect the functioning of government. And as we understand it, is that it is the institutions of government that really affect development, because they are the entities and the agencies that utilizes the resources of the state to achieve those targeted outcomes. So we have to fix government in a main way, especially in Tobago, where the lead agency for socio-economic transformation is the Tobago House Assembly. So we have to fix that. We have to modernize the operations of the THE. We have to imbue and introduce the kind of technology. We have to treat it our human resources. We have to go and retrain and upgrade our HR capabilities. We have to have persons who have multiple professional skills and not single. You come with a core competence, but you want multiple competence, because the environment in which we live is an environment where it can be described as a place of intersectionality. So you have to have the capability to deal with multiple things at a professional level. Most of our professionals now have one core skills. So we need to change that construct of our human resource capability. That will take a lot of investment, training and retraining and upgrading. But key to this is we have to digitize the operation of the THA.
Okay.
That will bring a significant level of efficiency will come with that. That's one aspect of the transformation. That will also be impacted by what we are doing at our schools. Critical. So our school curriculum, we have to look at that, what we are doing at the primary school in terms of performance and the success of our meals. We have to look at what is happening at the healthcare sector. We have to look at what is happening in agriculture. We have to transform agriculture. I know agriculture contributes only 1% to the GDP. And food security is now, because of what came out from the experiences we got from the COVID-19 and then the war between Russia and Ukraine, it recognized that they have to have some level of food security capability, which is your food sovereign policy. So we are working on that. We have spoken about 2 mega farms that will give a big transformation to the economic reality in the economic sector, the agricultural sector in Tobago. So that's one. We also have to look at what is happening in the healthcare sector, what is happening with our infrastructure. But critical to that, the big factor in any economic transformation is how do we create new and expanding demand for goods and services in Tobago. And it has to do with our population level. Do we have the critical mass of population? Because it is people, everything we do as a government, we do it for the people. Yes. So we have to look at that. Well, the population now is trending about 70,000. So it's not 60 and 65 as people say. The statistics is saying it's about 70,000, which is about 5.01% of the national population. The fact of the matter is that the critical mass of a population that will give you the kind of economic transformation in terms of effective demands. Because you don't produce things unless there's a demand for it. So we have to look at the population. So then definitely we are working and looking alongside all of those things I've mentioned at the population policy for Tobago. How are we going to grow the population? The birth rate is trending downwards. I think we have the births are down by about 40%. That's a critical number when you do the comparison. So we have a lot of issues and matters to attend to as we move to make Tobago the greatest little island on earth. But we have identified some of the core issues that need to be attended to, and this administration led by the Chief Secretary is resolved to face these challenges head on. Hence the reason that we have moving at pace with the development bank.
Okay, amazing, Mr. Richards, because I remember first week of law school, our tutor told us it's always good to identify a problem and complain about it, but the better part is when you actually put the work to fix the problem. And we are seeing that you all are putting in the work to really address the problems that we are facing here in Tobago. Especially when we look at the cash flow or finances, it's very slow. I remember last year the central bank would have implemented something where the checks would have gone from 4 days to 2 days to be deposited, which we question, like, why it took so long, like why in 2023 we have to wait for that type of development. But it's really amazing that, you know, the island of Tobago is making a progress towards effective development, sustainable development. And in a question that people are asking, they just want to know who are the members on of the committee, like who are the members on the committee. I think we saw 1-2 names, but you know, tell us a bit, who are the members on the committee?
Right. The convener of the committee / the chairman of the committee is Carlos Hazel. He's a technical advisor in the division of finance, trade and the economy. We also have our chief economist, Dr. Selvan Hazel, as a member of the committee. We have our subject matter expert is Mrs. Vernie Shields. She has been in the banking sector, banking and banking development for all her life. She's retired now. We have also the past chief administrator of the Tobago Assembly, Mr. Alan Richards. As a member, we have our senior legal officer in the Tobago Assembly, Ms. Leslie Gray. She's also a member. We have our chief accountant in the Division of Finance, Ms. Petal Toby. She's a member, and I'm also a member of the committee. That's the core. Excellent. And that's a technical oversight committee. The committee has the ability and the authority to court members as we go out to explain this initiative and this project to the national community. So we have that flexibility. So we can bring you on as a youth speaker.
Because I was getting there.
As a youth speaker, as we go to the communities and as the project become closer to implementation and we build out all the blocks, we can now come and present this 3D initiative to the national community. And we probably invite the youth speaker, we'll invite probably Mothers Union. My mother used to be part of that some years ago. I don't know if that's still. But you know, there is the opportunity for us to have a broader stakeholder dialogue on this matter, because this matter or this project, this bank is the People's Bank. Okay. It's Tobago's development bank. The name Tobago, and every Tobagonian has a stakeholder and and shareholding, and your share certificate is your birth certificate.
All right, Mr. Richard. So I like how you touched on the youth involvement, because I was getting to that. I know usually with these committees, we will see that they will find a way to educate the young people about what it's all about. Recently in Trinidad, I think it was yesterday, we would have seen they had a debate when it comes to land management, which I tuned in because it was something I personally didn't know as a young person. And like I said earlier, this Tobago Development Bank is a very technical topic. So can we expect that at some point we can see some competitions coming out from this committee, where we engage our high schoolers or sixth formers where they could probably either essay competitions, debate. So from that, from a youthful perspective, we can understand what the bank is all about, how it will benefit Tobago. Can we expect that at some point?
Well, definitely. That's a brilliant idea, and we'll want to get all Tobago buy-in or all Tobago understanding of this institution. And more importantly, this development bank is really a bank that belongs to the future of Tobago. And it's the young people. I have more years behind me than I have ahead of me. So it will be remiss of the committee not to get the young people involved, or a young professional on board. You know, the entire population understand what this institution is designed to do, how it is going to function, how it's going to impact their lives, how they can use this institution to transform their own personal lives and the lives of their families in terms of the investment. Because the funding is not only to fund government projects, and let me make that clear. This institution will provide funding for both private project development and public project development. So the government and private sector investing in Tobago will have access to the funding from this institution.
Okay, excellent, Mr. Richards. And from when we sit and we listen to the Tobago Autonomy discussion, we realize that a key issue we have with the population is a lack of education when it comes to a certain topic. People are not aware of what is happening in this space. So when it comes to this development bank, what strategies can we expect to see when it comes to educating the public? We know usually we'll see caravans, we will see pamphlets, brochures, we will see ads on the television. What strategies, if you know, I'm not sure if you will implement it as yet, but what can we expect to educate the public of Tobago on a whole about this development bank?
Well, we'll have a vector of strategy. We'll have strategy that cuts across the different cohorts of the population, the different stakeholder grouping. We'll have specific strategies for those. For instance, the youth people, the competition at the level of the school, the debates at the level of the school. We'll have probably a social media platform, a young person that will drive the social media messaging for this institution. We'll have the community meetings for the elderly folks who will like to come to the community center and sit down and put up their hand and ask the question. You know, we'll go into the organized groupings like the Chamber of Commerce, the Agriculture Society, the Fisher Folk Society. We will go to their spaces, sit with them, explain to them what the institution is about, how the institution is working to their benefit, how they can access the benefits that are nested in that institution. So there will be a multiplicity of approaches to ensure that all of Tobago is on board. We'll have the community meetings, the community outreach, and therefore we'll be able to bring the critical mass of support to this institution for its success.
Okay, excellent, Mr. Richards. Now, we know that close to 70% of Tobago's population is employed by the THA. Now, this probably be my last point and my last question. When it comes to THA workers, are they probably gonna expect some type of boost or increase in their standard of working from this development bank? This is just a off the book type question.
All right, so let me clarify that 70%, right? Because what I said at the inquiry yesterday is that, yes, I said that the direct employment figure is about 45 to 50%. But if you do the direct and indirect employment, we can go as far as 65, 70. So it's not 65, 70. That is direct and indirect. So you may have persons whose employment are impacted because of the THA employment. They are not being paid by the THA. So you have the direct and indirect employment. So I want to just clarify that, because I don't want the national community to go away with the idea that 7 of every 10 persons employed in Tobago is working with the THA. That is not what the data is saying. So I just wanted to clarify that. So back to your question, the issue of the quality of life of Tobago has its genesis in our institutional construct and most of our governance construct. And we cannot escape. And let me make it blunt. And I want Tobagonians to understand something. We cannot develop this island if two things does not happen. One, we have to have constitutional reform that accord to the people of Tobago their right to self-determination. Let me explain why I'm saying that. The current system operates this way. The Tobago House of Assembly will prepare a budget based on the needs of Tobago. That budget has to be submitted, and I'm just using the budgetary process as an example, and then I'll go to a legal example. That budget has to be presented and submitted to the cabinet before the 30th of June every year, so that the request can feed into the national budget that comes in September, October. So that's the procedural part of it. But here what happens. So you will send down a budget to Trinidad, and I'm not advocating here that every dollar you ask for, you should get it. But the point I'm making is that the Minister of Finance, through the Ministry and the Minister of Finance and the Cabinet, determines what is funded in Tobago, what is not funded. In other words, they say what you could do and what you can't do, based on how the budget is constructed. So when you get your money in September, you have to come back to Tobago and try to reorganize your budget. Time you complete that exercise, the first quarter, October to December, done. The Chief Secretary have to come back sometime in October, in November to say, well, we prioritize, we can't do this project again, and we can't do that. But the point I'm making is that they are making the changes to the budget without recourse or conversation with the Executive Council. So in essence, in reality, it is the Minister of Finance that is determining what happens in Tobago, because they determine, for instance, as I made the point before, they say you're not getting $400 million, you give you that in fiscal 2023, but you could only do $260 million in development work this year. How could you transform the island economy in a situation that is nested or birthed or populated with that kind of uncertainty? That has to change for Tobago to move forward. We have to have an arrangement where there is some predictability and consistency with Tobago's entitlement as part of this national entity called Trinidad, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The other thing is that we can formulate policy. We can say, okay, we want to do a policy to promote young people in housing and so forth. There's some administrative things we can do at that level. But to really give teeth and meaning to that policy may require legislation. We can't pass no law in Tobago to deal with matters in Tobago. And the Prime Minister, when he had the dispute, when the Chief Secretary went to the House and he was responding to the Chief Secretary, said that it's not the size of the kennel. They can't make law. And let me tell you, Tobagonians, the key issue in the internal self-government issue is Tobago's right to self-determination, the right to elect a government of its choice, and the right, and in the issue of self-determination, is to make law to govern how we operate this space. If that is absent, we are still being colonized by Port of Spain. So the current constitution, and I've said it without fear of contradiction, for me, is a colonial constitution. Tobago is colonized because the Minister of Finance in 2023-24 could say, I'm not funding the development bank because we asked for money for that. They're not giving us any money. We asked for $60 million to do the loan guarantee program. 2 years we have been negotiating that with the Ministry of Finance. They gave us $4 million. That must have to fund one businessman in the loan guarantee in Tobago. So that is the kind of reality, and people don't know what is happening behind the scene. It is a real challenge to really put any uptick in the Tobago economy. I'm not saying that there is need for efficiency, and I mentioned that about transforming the institutions of government. There's a need for efficiency in the Tobago House Assembly in terms of the capability of our human resources, the updating of our system, the modernization of technology in the THA. That will, as I said, that will bring significant efficiency and impact to our spending, because one of the things the only thing the THA has at its disposal as a lever for economic transformation is its ability to spend. I have said it repeatedly. In the current construct, the THA is by and large a spending agency. Okay. You get money from Trinidad and you could spend. You can't make law to change any construct to transform the economy. So it's a spending agency. So one of the things we have to do until we really stand up and enjoy our right to self-determination and the lawmaking powers is to ensure that we create maximum spend impact on the resource from the resources we receive annually to do the business of the people of Tobago.
Okay, Mr. Richard, so I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I want to thank you especially for reminding Tobagonians that the genesis of this autonomy discussion started from that aspect in the Constitution that says that only Parliament has the right to make laws.
Yeah.
And I always make mention to the debate between the Privy Council and the CCJ, where a judge said that an island or a country's determining body should not be located outside. It should be where the island is situated, and they should have the power to make all the laws. So I really look forward to this autonomy discussion. Probably in our next segment, we can have you on to speak about Tobago's autonomy from the financial aspect, because you seem to be very knowledgeable about that. But I want to thank you once again for joining us this morning. Viewers, that was Mr. Anselm Richard discussing Tobago Development Bank. We're going to take a quick break, and up next we are expecting probably Interdepartment. It's most likely going to be Interdepartment or Miss Rochelle Frank. Right, so it's going to be Miss Rochelle Frank, no stranger here to Tobago Update, and we will be speaking about Cooler Fete. So we'll be getting into the festive mood from Miss Rochelle Frank, right into the Interdepartment from the Division of Education. So stay tuned with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and we are back here on the Tobago Updates morning show. So we're slowly switching into that festive mood, and on set with us we have Miss Rochelle Frank. Special morning to you, Rochelle. How are you doing?
I'm good, Luke, and you?
I am very, very good. I'm excited to be here with you. I think it's always exciting when I can interview my past classmates. So viewers, if you notice, Rochelle is dressed in the school colors. We are seeing green. So tell us a bit more about this cooler event called Soca on the Hill.
Right, so Soca on the Hill is an initiative, an event that is hosted by the Signal Hill Alumni Association, which I am a part of. I am the Assistant Secretary, and we created this event because it's, as you say, it's the festive season, and we wanted something that would draw persons to the event, something that they would appreciate at this point in time of the year, as well as it's an initiative to help our school, as that is what the purpose of the alumni, giving back to the school and trying to help the school in whatever way that we can best possible. So we incorporated those two things. People like to lime, it's carnival time, and also it would help us to raise funds for the school in helping them to get repairs for various things that they may need, that the division may not be able to assist them with right on hand. So that is how we came up with the event, Soca on the Hill.
Okay, lovely. Because I know that on the Hill brand, it's really unique to Signal Hill Secondary School, the school on the hill.
Yes.
So, for people who would like to participate in the school effort, what can they expect from this event?
They can expect good vibes, good soca music, and talented DJs.
Okay.
We had a nice vibes going last year, and we intend to keep that and even expand on that, and for it to be better than before.
Okay,
right?
Excellent. And we're going to get down to the technical facts about it. Let us know the price, the date, the time, location, everything.
Of course. So it will be held next week, Saturday, which is the February 3rd, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. It's a cooler fete, so you walk with your alcohol. The chasers and ice would be sold at the school compound. And we will also, well, as I said, the chaser, so it will be a soft bar. The tickets are $100, and you can contact any of the committee members, even myself, at 737-7777. So that's 737-7777.
And preparing for this event, how has it been? Because I know preparing for event, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
But you know, when you have people like Miss Karut and those people who can guide you, who mentored you, this is very easy. So tell us a bit more about that.
Right. So in terms of actually planning the event, we have two persons on the executive that is really spearheading the event. One of them would be Mr. Kerry Walcott. He's our vice president, and Miss Kimmy Potts, who is our PRO. So they are spearheading the event, and the others like myself and everybody else on the committee have different roles. They may need help with different things, so we pitch in then. So for instance, this interview to advertise the event, I volunteered, so everybody really tries to pitch in and help, but they are the ones spearheading the event in terms of planning and the actual logistics of the event in terms of making everything go smoothly. But behind the scenes and behind all of that, all of us on the executive committee have a hand in that. And as you said, yes, it's tedious, but despite our many challenges and our many responsibilities outside of the executive and in our individual lives, we all pitch in when it's necessary to make sure that the event is a success.
Okay, excellent, Rochelle, excellent. So at this moment, this is the opportunity to thank anybody who have assisted you throughout this journey. I know this is the time to thank the sponsors, thank the people the stakeholders. So at this moment, this is your spotlight to shine and give them all the thanks.
Yes, so we want to first thank the principal for allowing us to use the school compound and who has really been supportive in the alumni since we've been active again. Miss Caruth Jack, that you would have mentioned before, and Miss Janelle Moore has really been helping us in terms of the marketing and planning the event and giving us little tips and ends about there. We want to thank our president, Miss Petal, Benoit Daniel. You know, she's really been a good leader in terms of steering the executive in a good direction when anything comes along. Also, our sponsors, Penny Savers. We have Chassel, he's on our sound. And we'd also like our DJs also are all past students.
Excellent.
Yes, we tried our very best to include the past students into the event because it is an alumni association and you have to start with your own people first. They have to buy into the event, they have to support. Because if you regroup outsiders and they come and they said, but this is another alumni event, and then they see no one that is from the alumni, how will that look? So we really tapped into and we do our best to tap into our past students in terms of being service providers or even vendors for the event, but the DJ cast is past students mostly.
Excellent, Rochelle. And dress code, are we to expect any specific color code? Because we know that green and yellow, when you kick down in that green and yellow, that's real good. So any dress code for this event?
No, there isn't a particular dress code. You can dress comfortably.
Let me get specific color code. Is there any color code for this event?
No, there isn't any specific color code for the event. You can dress freely how you like, just like if you're going to a normal cooler fete. You can dress comfortably. You're going to Lime, you're going to have fun. It's an adult party. So, there isn't any specific color code or anything like that.
Okay, Rochelle, excellent.
But
So
we do have, for past students, we have been advertising our merchandise jerseys in terms of that you can order online
Okay,
and pay
nice.
for online,
yeah,
right?
That's that good yellow and green.
And the material is even better.
Lovely. And what are the costs for these? Oh, I'm seeing the costs up on the screen, but for those who are listening, what are the costs for the
Cost is $200, and it's a polo which you can customize with your year group to the back of it, right? So alumni persons can buy into that, and they can access that through our website, right?
So Rochelle, usually when people come to promote the events, I love to give them, as you wrap up, that opportunity to sell the event in at least 30 seconds or less, so our viewers and listeners can really know that this is the event to be at. So for 30 seconds or less, please let our viewers and listeners know why Soca on the Hill is the place to be.
Well, yes, hear the song by Voice and Vaughn. They said Trinidad sweet. Well, let me tell you, Soca on the Hill will be sweet. So you wouldn't want to miss that. Girls, gay guys, and come up on the hill next week, February 10th, so we could have some fun and lime like real Trimigos.
Excellent, Rochelle. So I want to thank you so much for joining us here this morning. It was
Thank
a
you for
very
having me.
informative, exciting interview. Probably because you know I'm a man of surprises, so you might see me on the hill. So
I hope to see you on the hill, Luke.
yes, Rochelle. So I want to thank you once again. So viewers, that was Miss Rochelle Frank promoting Soca on the Hill, a Signal Hill alumni event. So for those of you who would like to get involved, you can just rewatch this interview to get all the contact and all the information. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, continuing the festive mood. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
It's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storebay Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by Costa. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2 and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Want to win 2 nights for 2 at Interest Guest House? Then get your near 3-in-1 card game now. Question and answer, memory, puzzle, fun for everyone. Available at Nelson's Bookstore and Books and Office Supplies. For more details, visit us this Thursday, December 21st between 1 to 5 p.m. at Portmore or call 254-6364 or visit us on Facebook at New Experience of Gaming. Get your game now.
But this place so boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Oof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
your destiny? The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Flo is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up, or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets, so you could wind down in your bed. Hosting Blue Friday lines at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets, plus Carnival costumes. Flo bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflow.co for more details. Flo, inspired by you.
Hey, you come in. Long time I see you. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it's your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next 2 better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before your Ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and we are back. And you know we love to end things with a bang here on Tobago Updates. So we are ending on a festive note. So at this moment, we are joined by the past and the current from the Division of Education, Research and Technology. And yes, we are speaking all things interdepartment. So good morning to everyone, and how are you all feeling this morning?
Good morning, excited.
Nice. So just for our viewers and our listeners know, I want you all to introduce yourself, your name, the year you won, and we're just going to come down the road.
Okay. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Tobago. I am Giselle Donaldson Yates, Interdepartment Champion for 2019.
I am Donald Smith, Interdepartment Winner 2020.
I am Michael Lewis, the reigning Interdepartment Personality for 2023.
So it's clear to see that the Division of Education seems to have some type of trick up its bag. And I don't want to sound biased as a past worker or anything, but it seems to me that the Division of Education knows what it is doing. So how does it feel to have this title of, you know, I think people have the perception that once they hear the Division of Education, they know that, you know, they have to start shaking a little, because you all clearly come with a bang, you all leave us mesmerized. So how do you all feel to have that reputation?
Well, it adds to the reputation of education, and you know, education tends to set high standards, very competitive. So to attain the title for 3 consecutive years in a row, it's a good accomplishment to to add to the accolades of education.
We had to dot all our I's, cross all our T's, because every year the competition, you know, they're expecting something better. We had to go change perspective and just come harder. We had to wake up in the night and think about something else, pull out the bag, change things last minute, but it's a intimidating task sometimes because we know that all the divisions usually will be sending talks at us and so forth, but we come in hard. We're not backing down.
So as we make way for the current to come on air and hear what their performances may be all about or what
we are not letting that out.
Okay.
Come on the night of the show.
Yeah, come on the night of the
I
show.
think every division has been very tight-lipped about what to expect. But any words of advice for the participants that would like to join? Let them why they should come and really see what the Division of Education is going to be bringing. What words do you have for viewers and our listeners? Give us just a little tidbit, just a little of why we should come to see the Division of Education perform.
Michael, go ahead.
Well, given that we had the title 3 consecutive years, every year we had to put forward something that was even better because, you know, other divisions wanted to, capture the crown and not give us that hat trick that we were aiming for.
Okay.
Right, so as the reigning personality, I would say that, you know, all the competitors out there, do your best, right? Aim for total in all your categories, and you know, don't you throw a little pickong, but don't throw a pickong to the point where you had to bury your head in the ocean, like ostrich in the sun after, you know, to that point, you know, and well, the talent, everybody knows that the talent, how the local parlance say, separates the sheep from the goat.
Okay.
Right? And you have to score high in that part. And, well, this year is costume. So bring your best. Don't leave no stones unturned. Dot your I's, cross your T's.
Stop letting out too much acting out the bag.
So viewers, we are going to make some way for the current to come on air. So this was the past. They are all decked out in their winning garment. So
and I just want you to notice female back to back, and then we have 2 males back to back.
Okay. So like I said earlier, viewers, the Division of Education, they have some sort of remedy that we are not aware of, but we love the energy. As a past school worker, I'm proud that, you know, the Division of Education is really representing and performing. So at this moment, viewers, we're going to take a quick little break and we're going to switch to the current. So stay tuned.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory. At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and we are back here on the Tobago Update Morning Show, and we are continuing our conversations about all things interdepartment. We are joined by the Division of Education, Research and Technology, and right now we have the current participants. So I want to say a special morning to everyone seated here. How are you all feeling?
Good morning, we're feeling ecstatic.
Okay.
Right up energy, right up to the roof. Yeah.
So starting from my right, I want you to introduce yourself and let our viewers know what you're all about.
Not a problem. So good afternoon, Tobago. I am Kidani Okada, and I would be your representative for Mr. Personality, representing none other division with the most vibes, the division with the most energy, the division with the most educated people. Yes, I'm saying educated too, and I'm saying it big and broad. The Division of Education, Research and Technology.
And good morning, viewers. I am Coris Wright-Kerr, representing the Division of Education, Research and Technology, as he mentioned. And I will be the Calypsonian for the Interdepartment 2024.
And good morning, viewers. I am Akesia Frederick Thomas. I am not a representative. I am the chaperone. I've been the chaperone for the past 3 contestants you just saw, and I am the chaperone for the contestants that is in front of us right now.
Okay, excellent. So Kidani and Miss Coris, preparing for this is probably, I could only imagine the amount of work you all have to put in, especially with the reputation that the division has. How has that been for you all?
So I find it to be quite interesting. As someone was mentioning when I was coming in, they was telling me that I have some big shoes to fit. And I was mentioning to them, well, it's a good thing my foot is 12 and a half. Yeah, so I'm not joking, it's really 7 and a half. So if you want to buy shoes to me, keep that in mind. But I learned to accept the challenge with an open heart. You know, I am open to challenges and I like to challenge myself. So even being in this position, it's quite beautiful to me. I really enjoy that the feeling, you know, the bubbling feeling in the stomach. You're feeling a bit nervous. Yes. I like that feeling. So I thrive in that environment. So for me, I am actually ready for the challenge. I'm ready for the challenge.
Nice.
And I'm ready as well, because entertainment is nothing new to me. You know, it's something that makes me feel alive. And this is just an opportunity for the world to see that part of who Coris really is. Okay, you know, amazing. So it will be a wonderful experience, and I'm urging everyone to come out and support DIRTEC. Full force, we're coming, no turning back.
I love the energy, man. I love the energy. So I know everyone is tight-lipped about what to expect next week, but I know that the Division of Education, not to sound biased again as a past school or anything, but I know the Division of Education is gonna come with a bang. So I'm really contemplating, do I tune in virtually or do I catch a flight and come physically, because I don't want to miss it. But as we wrap up, as we're gonna wrap up right now, I just want you to leave our viewers and our listeners just with those last words of why you are proud to represent the Division of Education.
As we say, home. There's no place like home. There's no place like DIRTEC. So we're going to leave it there, and we're going to end on a high note. And we are looking forward to a wonderful show, and we're urging everyone again to come out, support. We have a lot in store, things to make you laugh, and it's just what we do.
Excellent. Kidani?
Well, if you're looking for good energy and good vibes to put inside a basket, education is the whole blinking market. You understand? So if it is you're thinking about coming, don't think no more. Scratch out your plans that you had before. Buy your boat ticket, buy your plane ticket. If you're in America, come down the road. It's going to be nice. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be crazy. The energy is going to be electrifying. Trust me when I say, I don't want to give too much secrets out, you understand? But you could expect some big things. And when I say some big things, I mean the energy that is going to come, the presence that is going to be here. So make sure and get your ticket now. Education, we outside.
Right. So I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. I'm really excited to see what next week holds. So viewers, unfortunately we are at the end of the show, but thankfully we ended it on such a great note. I want to thank everyone for joining in us this morning. Thank you for choosing Tobago Update to start your morning on the right note. We'll be heading over to Good Morning Tobago soon with Miss Candice Jackson. So remember to share the live, and I'll see you guys next week.
The initiative, aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, aims to protect and promote the relevance of Tobago's underwater past.
Tobago, as you know, is an island that's exceedingly rich in history. Normally, when we talk about the island being very rich in history, our reference is to the land. All right? But as you know and appreciate, our history is also quite immense and large underwater.
Acknowledging a tumultuous history suffered on to Trinidad and Tobago by the Dutch, Ambassador to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach, explains that the countries have since enjoyed excellent bilateral relations. This continues today with the launch of the Maritime Archaeological Diving Training.
We believe that cultural heritage is of great value in an ever-changing world. Knowledge of the past helps us all to understand the here and now, as well as supporting our future endeavours. This appreciation for each other's countries continues to this very day. My gratitude is also, of course, to the various representatives of the THA, with whom we jointly celebrate the start of this training today.
The marine exploration of Tobago has captured the attention of historical enthusiasts and researchers, given the many battles fought from the 16th to the 18th century.
Given the historical significance of each and every ruin, artifact, and the structural that remains submerged in our marine spaces, namely Rockley Bay, which is the site of this project, which is adjacent to our current port of entry at Scarborough. This project provides an avenue to gain much needed research, development, and the possibility of eventual excavation of such artifacts, which even further provides Tobago with an attraction worth coming to see, experience, and hear about.
Specialist in maritime archaeology and underwater cultural heritage management, Professor Martijn Manders, will lead the exercise.
We're doing training, so we are going into the classroom and we do the theory again. But not only that, we're picking up our dive stuff and we're going out and we're doing underwater archaeology, but especially underwater archaeological heritage management. That means we're not just picking things up from the seabed and putting them into a museum. We're thinking about how can we implement cultural heritage into society.
A total of 18 university students from throughout the region will be guided by archaeological diving experts over a 3-week period. During this time, they are also expected to encourage community interaction. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. The THA has appointed a 6-member committee led by Carlos Hazel to develop a framework for establishing the Tobago Development Bank. The bank aims to facilitate easy financing for Tobago investors and developers. Chief Technical Advisor Anselm Richards highlighted the committee's 7 months of strategic planning to ensure Tobagonians have access to working capital for starting businesses. During a virtual appearance before the Joint Select Committee, Richards highlighted the initiative to promote entrepreneurship in Tobago, where almost 70% of the workforce is connected to the THA. And up next, Parliament's Public Accounts Committee Chairman Davendra Tanku proposed that the Regulated Industries Commission enhance public awareness of its services, especially for citizens facing issues with the Water and Sewage Authority. During the Public Accounts Committee meeting discussing RIC's audited financial statements for 2014 to 2018, Tanku highlighted a lack of public awareness regarding RIC's coverage of WASA issues. Tanku, representing Oropuch West, shared concerns about recurring water problems, with his office receiving around 100 monthly complaints a month. RIC's Executive Director, Dr. Misha Solandi, assured that all complaints, including those water-related, are addressed. And finally, Tobago has unveiled playing positions for Panorama 2024 semi-finals in the medium and large conventional band categories. Regarding the Tobago bands, NGC Steel Explosion leads medium bands with Cats and Jammers playing at 3rd position and Carib Dixieland at 8th. In the large band category, RBC Redemption Soundsetters would play in 2nd place and NLCB Buccaneers will play in position 11. The semi-finals of both categories are on Sunday, January 28, 2024, at the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain. Meanwhile, in Calypso, 8 junior Calypsonians would advance to the Tobago Junior Calypso Monarch 2024 finals. A date is yet to be announced for the event. And that was your news in 90 seconds. All right, viewers, and jumping straight into our conversations this morning, we are being joined right now by Mr. Anthony James, a political activist within our space, because we are talking quite a bit about autonomy and moving Tobago's autonomy forward. So first of all, special good morning and welcome to you, Mr. James. How are you doing?
Yeah, very pleasant morning to Candice. I'm fine, and thanks for having me.
Great. And now getting into the conversation right now, we're at a peculiar time. We've been here before, where autonomy is the focus of a lot of political conversations. And what is your view as to where we are right now in terms of, the conversations just rising up again?
Well, these things are not coincidental. And God is in charge. And He is moving Tobago along. And so that the death of Hochoy Charles and Basdio Pandey, those deaths are known to God, and one might even argue they're even strategic and symbolic to Him, because the funeral of Hochoy Charles has brought about a prick, so to speak, on the conscience, and so that the Prime Minister was there, and he was forced to make that announcement. Had there not been a funeral for Hochoy Charles, I don't know what other event would have caused the Prime Minister to make the statement that he made. So from my perspective, I know that God is in charge, and the whole process of constitutional reform, it has started actually.
And it's no coincidence.
There's no coincidence, because I can safely say today, as I've said it before, there will be constitutional reform before the next general elections in 2025. And so that this year, 2024, will see a lot of convulsions, a lot of upheavals, and we're going to see unexpected things happening because God is in charge and in control. And the history of Tobago cannot continue to be suppressed and oppressed and to be ridiculed. The people of Tobago must occupy their or real status. And our real status is as of a free people. Currently, when you listen to the talks on autonomy, you get the impression that the minds that are so speaking are not yet free. I'm talking about those in Tobago. Because when you're looking to measure your own autonomy and asking for a measure, because they are still asking for a measure. Now, A.N.R. Robinson, in the motion in the Parliament in 1977, actually it is written in the motion, he asks for internal self-government or a measure of autonomy. Now, if you are free, you can't have a measure of your freedom.
And then this is where you start to talk about self-determination.
Yes, and self-determination is a right. Like freedom is your right. Yourself. When God created you, He made you whole. The Creator designed you whole. And you have to utilize that wholeness. So you can't be talking of a part of yourself. And so that when people are speaking, they need to have that presence of mind. They need to catch themselves, so to speak, because when they're saying, well, we don't agree with this bill and we want this here and we want this here, they're still piecing and piecing and piecing. Which they are saying they are legitimizing their own bondage. And they are speaking as wardsmen of Trinidad and bondsmen of Trinidad. And that's the history. And we have to pull ourselves out of that history. It's not Trinidad to pull us out. We have to make ourselves free. In 1889, Tobago was made a ward of Trinidad. It continues today. And it's not simply a case of taking out the word ward. You have to take out the concept. You know what I'm saying? We have to take out the philosophy. We must remove bondage and replace it with freedom. Now, we have to also understand that when we are saying the Constitution, we must understand that that Constitution is not ours. We did not pen that Constitution. We did not author the Constitution. And meaning to say, no, we are not the authors of our own story right now. We are not the authors of our lives. That is, and people need to understand that so many people are coming and they are boasting about the Constitution, not recognizing that the Constitution is that article of their enslavement. Now, what our politicians have not recognized, that we are the ones, led by the political directorate, we are the ones to author our own constitution, to author our own freedom. So once you're talking about the Constitution in your mind, and you're looking to find some autonomy and some freedom, you're looking for freedom in bondage.
So then these are at an interesting place where we've had several bills go on to Parliament. We're now having where the Chief Secretary is going to come up with this document that we expect to see within the next few days with the differences of what Tobago wants compared to what's in the present bills before Parliament. Now, so should we not look at those bills anymore and focus on the Constitution and then work on what we want, or is there a specific bill that reflects exactly what Tobago wants and needs?
Well, that whole foray, if I may call it that, was really a foray, and from a certain perspective, in nonsense, really. In nonsense, because the perspective was wrong in the first place, because the perspective legitimized wardship. It legitimized Tobagonians as bondsmen or wardsmen of Trinidad.
This is each one of the bills that have gone.
Of the bills, the two bills are total disaster. I mean, watch me. For any intelligent human being, If it were Trinidadians living in Tobago or Americans living in Tobago, you could not have gotten such a document going to some parliament somewhere else to be free. The bill is both bills. I've read them before. I don't even bother to go back into them. They are total disaster and a waste of time. Both bills. I want Tobagonians to understand that. And at the end of those bills, Tobago would have gotten nowhere really. You would just sort of inched somewhere and maybe put you in a position now to bargain, give you some strength where you can articulate as the case may be. But in terms, if you felt well as though the bills were a panacea for Tobagonian life, you're really making a great mistake. And I'll give you the origin, because many times the conversation is going on and people forget. Now, you had Act 40 of 1996, which was passed in the Parliament November, December in 1996, just before the election. And that bill succeeded Act 37 of 1980, right? Now, I would have said, since back in 1998, I want people to understand, a lot of people jumping on board. And I can tell you, the politics in Tobago is very hypocritical. Many people who you see talking autonomy, from the political circle, they are trying to survive. They are trying to survive politically. And what is most important to them is getting back into power or holding on to power. So you're not getting a clear focus, a clear massaging on the issue itself. And remember, they were not part of the issue. So that I called for constitutional reform since in 1998. Mr. Hutchard Charles and Vanus James came to the Bell Garden Community Center in 1998 with the Tobago Development Plan. And I looked through the plan very quickly, and I saw nothing about constitutional reform, because my mind was already free. Because I'm not a ward of anybody. In my mind, from where I am, I live my life freely. And I said to them, I didn't see anything there. And Act 40 of 1996 cannot realize Tobago's potential. What we need is constitutional reform. I told them that back in 1998 in the Bell Garden Community Center. But when it came around to 2000, me and two other gentlemen, we formed the Tobago Liberation Movement to see about constitutional reform, not amending constitution as what is going on here today. You are amending something that is not yours. What you need is to throw that system totally outside. Revisit the history when Tobago and Trinidad, or when Tobago became a ward of Trinidad. It's from there you have to go back and make yourselves free. So I called for constitutional reform. I wrote the Prime Minister at the time was Basdio Pandey. This is why Pandey is talking constitutional reform. He got the letter from me, and he was so confused that when he responded to me, he addressed the letter, the heading of the letter as James. When they penned the letter, they said, "Dear Mr. Lewis." It was so much confusion, and I advised him, because the Constitution, the Constitution is the problem. It is supervising the destruction of Tobago. And we are losing our population yearly. All of that I put there. And I copied the letter to Manning, was the opposition leader, and to Aina Robinson was the president, and I wrote Robinson a separate letter to meet with him, and I did so several couple times by the President House in Government House, wrote up there to deal with the issue is constitutional reform. The form must change.
And so of course, it doesn't just affect us here in Tobago in terms of our powers, but it also affects so many things about how us as Trinidadians and Tobagonians live and function, and the government, and all of those things.
Definitely. It is the relationship between Tobago and Trinidad that must change. Right now, the constitutional relationship is that Tobago is answerable to Trinidad. It is there. If you have 2 out of 39, you are out of 41. It used to be 2 out of 36 was 34-2. So I came up with the whole thing about 34-2. Now it is 39-2. Before the election begin, you lose. You lose and when you lose everything that is yours. You have given that power is somewhere else. It's like you're playing cards and the jack is already set. Tobago is losing. right? And then now the system has gone on for so long till we actually believe we are legitimately part of this thing, and you hear the craziness that they want to hold on to a concept that is not it's not, the word is not written. They have come up with this thing called unitary state and boasting about unitary state as if there is something to boast. You hear people in Tobago talking about unitary state and boasting and looking to hold on to which unitary state to benefit who? Let me just quickly divert to sports because there's always an easy way. You have Joshua James, an excellent cricketer, bowling, batting, fielding, everything, starring, but he's starring other ways, other areas. Well, I mean, he has never played for any team called Trinidad and Tobago. It's amazing.
Talk about it in terms of
he has never played. He made the West Indies team. He's on the West Indies emerging team. But he has never represented Trinidad and Tobago because the consciousness of Trinidad and Tobago is a Trinidad consciousness. And it's all about the well-being and the prosperity, the aspirations of Trinidad. That rudely is what it is. And there are people here who are perspectivizing from that point. You know what I'm saying? So that Mr. Manning now, when he started what he called constitutional reform talks now, and I'm saying it's based on the letter that I wrote to Pandey and I addressed to him, because in that letter I called for a president. I'm the person who came up with that. I called for an elected president, but a federal president. Mr. Manning turned that around to turn himself from prime minister to president, and he wrote the constitution. Many people forgetting the constitutions are already written, you know. And what he wanted to do is to make himself, first of all, president of Trinidad and Tobago. So Tobago remains in the same place where it is. And the plan was to extend that to the Eastern Caribbean because they were very poor and there was a lot of gas and oil in Tobago at the time. So they wanted to hold on to Tobago. If you go back to 2008, in the Municipalities Amendment Corporation Bill, it was read out in the Parliament, discussed in the Parliament on the 27th of July in 2008. And they were reforming now their local government bodies in Trinidad. And Kamala Prasad basically saw the danger in what they were doing. And in fact, they see Tobago as a local government. We are not local government to them. We are not a locality of Trinidad. We are our own people, with our own country, with our own identity and our own name, Tobago.
So now, where we are right now in this whole situation, so with Mr. Charles passing and Mr. Charles' self-governance has reared its head and it's on everybody's lips. Now, should Tobago now, instead of just focusing on the actual bills, focus on constitutional reform and make sure that part of the legislation that governs everything gives us a power for us to decide exactly what we want in our bills?
This is it. So the question is where we are.
Yeah.
No. And anybody to catapult Tobago to the rightful status of Tobago, it will be the leadership. So that the leadership must possess that understanding. They have to be so wide up. They have to be made free. You have to be free in order to do that. Because if you're arguing from a perspective, from a position of freedom, you cannot be resisted. Right now, the advance, the articulation is being made from a position of bondage. And I'm saying that's why you have those bills. Remember, those who are in office now, they are not responsible for the two bills. Respectfully, both Mr. Charles and Mr. London occupied psychologically a position of bondage. And that is why you got those bills going down. So that, I wanted to answer the question how it all evolved. So that Mr. Manning, in order to achieve his agenda, because the idea was to have presidential jet and all those things, people have to remember. So that what was happening critically back in that same bill, in that Municipalities Amendment Corporation bill in Trinidad there, to amend the bill down there. Mr. Manning said there, when Kamala Prasad was asking, what about Tobago? Are you going to be bringing them back into this state? He didn't answer the question directly, but what he said is that there is a discussion going on in Tobago which can end up to a federation. Because constitutional reform is about a partnership between Tobago and Trinidad. Politically, it is called a federation. And Manning was warning them that they need to be very careful about that because of the marine resources. He said, let me be careful how I put it. He said there is a regime which governs the law of the sea, UNCLOS, the United Nations Conventions of the Laws of the Seas. And he said, if that happens, it was implying to come that they will lose all the resources in Tobago. So moving forward, he got Ellis Clark, who was still alive, to write a constitution. And this, I'm coming home now. In that constitution, the only line for Tobago in that constitution, they reform everything, turn the prime minister into president. And that's why the election came early in 2010. And you know what the line wrote? Tobago to be prescribed. And that is where now he called Mr. Ovid London, Chief Secretary, to start the autonomy talk now in Tobago. So they finished, and Tobago now was to grease its head and fit in to the Trinidad constitution without them in power. Now, so we have two options here. The options of bondage, where we are bastardized Trinidadians, so remain as a ward of Trinidad, and we talk about autonomy, and it will never end. The police is controlled by Trinidad. The economy is controlled by Trinidad. In that bill there that they sent to Trinidad, it did not even address sports. Trinidad will continue to have all the selectors, and Trinidad will continue to be national. And you hear people come in the media and they say, well, Tobago, and nationally, oh, who is nationally? You have Tobago here, and then somebody else is national. The state is Tobago and Trinidad, or Trinidad and Tobago, but you have Trinidad and nationally. You don't have Trinidad and nationally. Trinidad is a synonym for national. National is a synonym for Trinidad. We have to see, fellow Tobago, the mess of the minds operating in Tobago. So that is either the option to continue as bastardized Trinidadians and in total ignorance, come on the TV, the media, and just keep talking rubbish, or we free ourselves, which is constitutional reform now, to be partners with Trinidad.
And that is where we will have to leave our discussions here this morning. Always quite a lot from you, Mr. James. And I mean, I certainly appreciate the history lesson and so on. And of course, you know, revoking some memories and stuff of some of the things that happened in the past and how easily we forget some of these things that have happened to lead us to where we are right now. So thank you, Mr. James. And certainly we'll be continuing our conversations with you as time go on. And as we track this process as to where we're going, are we going to be focused on constitutional reform, or are you going to just be sticking with the bills? Yeah, we're going to see how it goes. So thank you, Mr. James. And viewers, don't go anywhere. We got a lot more coming up for you after the break.
A brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Flo is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up, or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets, so you could wind down in your bed, hosting Blue Friday Limes at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets plus Carnival costumes. Flo bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflo.co for more details. Flo, inspired by you.
As you come in. Long time I see you. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home the whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Madam always busy. She that could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know.
I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay.
Alright.
Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are switching gears now away from politics and into some things environmental. And of course, we are talking about a very special conference that's happening today for our farmers here in Tobago, where we have some technocrats that are here to help our farmers understand how to treat with the things that they are affected it as a result of climate change, how they can even change or tweak some of the methods that they are practicing right now in the agricultural fields to ensure that we have a greater yield and to strengthen our food security here in Tobago. So I am being joined by Miss Professor Michelle Michael, and she is the coordinating lead author for the international panel on climate change at this conference. So special good morning and welcome to you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. A pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Now, so for those who have not been paying attention, who don't already know, could you just explain to them, what is this conference really about? What's going to be happening today? And what are you hoping to leave with the farmers?
Right. So, as you are aware, at the global level, we have been talking about climate change. And for many, many decades, we knew that climate change was upon us. But what has happened in recent times is that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change produced a report in 2022, and we confirmed climate change has been happening for decades, but it has become more and more exacerbated. In other words, it's worsening. And what is driving it is what we are going to talk about at the training conference today. So the training conference is really designed to bring to the attention of farmers in Tobago that climate change is upon us. It is impacting on the productivity of the agricultural sector, and we want to help farmers become sensitized as to what they can do to adapt to climate change. The key word here really is, yes, we know the science about climate change. Now what do you do? What action is needed on the ground, given that things are worsening? So the Mar Vista Institute for Agriculture and Training and Development is here to show farmers, we know the science, we need to link it with policy, and we need to link it with practice. In other words, it's power to make a difference. So, of course, Mar Vista has really collaborated with Republic Bank, which is one of the sponsors of the workshop, along with the Tobago House of Assembly, and in collaboration with the Argyle Farmers Association. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a group of scientists. Professor Ganpat from UWI is also going to be here, and Marcus Michael from Mar Vista and his team. We all are part of the Training Institute. But it's not about training only. It's training for development of the sector and for Tobago's food security.
So explain that a little bit, developing our food security, based on the science and based on, just the things that you guys have observed over the years, where do we need to go for us to have better food security?
Right. So in climate change, we are aware at the regional level that small islands in the Caribbean will experience severe drought. And we know this can happen from as early as 2040. Of course, we're already seeing it. And the World Meteorological Organization last year confirmed that we had way surpassed temperatures ever recorded. It was the hottest year ever recorded in human history. So with that heat stress and the drought associated with it, the crops will wilt the same way we feel inconvenienced and we react to heat stress. The crops are also reacting by wilting. So with drought, there is no water to irrigate the plants. And then, of course, you have the other extreme, which is intense rainfall over a short period that then causes flooding. So you have drought and you have flooding, and it's happening right throughout the Caribbean as well as it's being experienced in Tobago. What we plan to do is to unpack a story, a narrative around impacts of climate change that are being witnessed in the Tobago context. And I will, of course, paint a picture of the global warming, its impact on all of us as a planet, and then drill it down into how the farmers in Tobago can adapt. So the messaging will be really what to do. Of course, with to do, we really are telling farmers, we are going to train farmers as to how to treat their crops to make them more resistant to drought and to flooding. And there are emerging technologies to do that in terms of products that can help farmers save their crops, either from a flood or drought, because a lot of farmers invest quite a bit in their agricultural production. So that science is going to be brought to the farming community in Tobago.
And are you confident that, we can here in Tobago develop those strategies with your help, of course, to have a better agricultural system here in Tobago so we can feed ourselves, because we really can't be depending on the rest of the world to get our food?
Right. So I think if we step back from COVID-19, the entire world recognized that there would be a food supply chain disruption, that borders were closed. And so suddenly we had to become self-sufficient in food production, and the alarm bell went off. Our food security is now endangered by another global crisis other than climate change, right? So what we are saying is we need to secure our future, and the way in which we have to do it is that we have to look at agriculture in a sustainable way. We need to promote climate smart technologies which are affordable for farmers. So you can use your mobile app. And the Caribbean Institute for Hydrology and Meteorology sends out bulletins. And it tells the Caribbean, farmers, you can expect drought over the next 3 months. Therefore, you need to watch your plants closely. You need to find sources of irrigation. You need to have mixed cropping for shading crops that may wilt, and so on. You look at the techniques, revisit the techniques. Then you're going to have very heavy rainfall in a certain period. So the information has to trickle down. When it comes to our meteorological office locally, the Met Office will tell us, by the same way ODPM uses the app for early warning systems, they can send early warning systems to the agricultural sector. Drought, flooding, farmers be ready, get your crops secured, ensure that you are using the trenching and the proper drainage canals to get excess water off your field quickly as possible. And of course, what we will do in the training is to show the use of these new climate smart technologies. They're not new, they've been around, but it will be new to farmers.
Yes. And when we had that conversation yesterday with Mr. Mike, who he explained a few of those little techniques that we knew. We learned even at the primary and secondary school level and so on, but we seem to have forgotten them for some reason over the years.
Right.
But what are some more of, he was explaining in terms of the taproot and making sure that taproot, which is the anchor for the plant, that remains healthy and that sort of thing. But what are some of those other things that farmers need to be aware of to make sure that they can have the best yield within the current conditions that we have?
Right. So, as I said, information can be shared with farmers using those mobile apps. What is also required is the agricultural extension officers need to distill the key messages, because if you look at some of the bulletins, they're sometimes highly scientific
Yes.
for a farming community. So agricultural extension officers are the hands and the feet on the ground who should be in the fields working with the farmers to say, these are the messages, actually distilling or boiling down the message so that it resonates with the farmer. And I think once the technology is being embraced, once there's that face-to-face contact with the farmers, the uptake of those messages would be enhanced. We can't do it all remotely. You have to have contact, direct contact with the farmers.
You know, and as we're having these conversations, how important it is for us to treat agriculture as a science.
Right. So what I can say is that the science of crop cultivation has existed in human history, in the Egyptian civilization, in the Mexican and the Mayas and Incas and so on. They had very sophisticated systems of crop production. So that science has been around. So we are not saying that we need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. The science has been around. But of course, we have new science, emerging technologies that are designed to help us cope with climate change. Egyptian civilization was brought down, collapsed because of droughts and famine. The future of our planet is really revolving around now climate change. If we continue, the Earth has evolved. It, like any other system, the natural system, it ages with time. We all age with time. But the Earth has been around for thousands of years, and we've always had disasters. But what is happening is that we as human beings are emitting all these fossil fuels, all these greenhouse gases from gasoline consumption, from the industrial plants. Not as small island states, our carbon footprints are small, but we belong to one planet.
And you know, I mean, sometimes it's hard for people to understand exactly the impact of that on us. Even though we have the smallest carbon footprint, we feel in some ways the most effect. And you know, up comes to mind is that of what's happening in the Pacific with the Marshall Islands, which are being lost right now. I'm not too sure people paying attention to some of these things. But yeah, I mean, you know, what's the threat? I mean, and I kind of moving away from agriculture a little bit, but it's still related. You know, how vulnerable are we, especially here in Tobago, to even just the rising seas and so on?
Right. So what is happening with the global warming is that the glaciers or ice is melting. And it happens in the Arctic. That water is going to filter down all through the oceans to the Caribbean Sea. And that's when the sea levels will rise. If sea level rises, it can impact on all our freshwater resources around our coasts. No fresh water means you cannot grow food. That's the kind of issue we are dealing with. So I was the coordinating author for the Small Islands chapter of that big report produced by global scientists. I headed the chapter, coordinated the chapter, and we worked with people from the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, and the Caribbean, all as small island states. And we are the most vulnerable, because of course we also have the heat stress with the coral reefs dying off.
Yes.
And if we move beyond 1.5 degrees Celsius, that's it for us.
You know, and that is why, you know, we paid quite a lot of attention to when the Prime Minister of Barbados, Ms. Mia Mottley, had sounded that alarm. You know, that 1.5 degrees. It's actually quite a lot. And we're feeling it just in our daily temperatures. 1.5 is actually quite a lot. And it's very impactful. So there's some things that we need to be aware of.
We may tip that point in the next couple of years because of the El Nino effect. We smashed world records last year. The planet was hottest ever. And in the next 5 years, with the El Nino being around, we can really tip the point, and the damage can be irreversible for our fragile ecosystems in the Caribbean and the Pacific.
So certainly, and this is why we need to look at the science, and we need to change even some of the things that we can do. We may not be able to stop climate change, but there are things that we can do in our own spaces so that we can have food in this case.
Yeah. But I should add, sea level rise is slower. What we have to be very careful of is the more intense hurricanes that we're getting. Yes. Because the crop damage from that, if you've ever seen what has happened in Jamaica and Dominica and Belize and all of these small islands, Belize is still considered small island developing state. The damage to crops is enormous, and the recovery is a long period. And farmers need to be compensated for that loss.
Yes. And I mean, there's a lesson for us, because I mean, we still talk about the fact that Tobago agriculture sector has never really recovered from Hurricane Flora.
No.
But I want to thank you so much from Professor Michael for being here with us, and for just giving us a little bit of nuggets for us to really consider. And I know there's quite a lot good information that's going to be coming out of the conference this morning, and we're hoping that the farmers can take some of that and utilize it. So thank you again for joining us.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
All right, viewers. Well, we're just going to leave this conversation right there, but we got a lot more coming up for you on the program, so please don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory. At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are heading into some conversations about Calypso, because we of course are in the carnival period, and you know we have quite a lot of Calypsonians in Tobago. I don't think you realize how many that we have in Tobago. And if you want to know about some of our Calypsonians and hear some of the art that is being presented in these genres of music, you know, we got to visit a Calypsonian tent. And if you want to to know about one of them. Well, we have Mr. Anton Roberts, and he is a PRO of Calypsonian D Masters Calypso tent, and of course, he's also a Calypsonian himself. So, special good morning and welcome to you. How are you doing?
Pleasant good morning to you, and I am doing as beautiful as the weather. Welcome. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad and the world by large. Good morning.
All right. So, D Masters Calypso tent.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The Masters Calypso tent, it was formed in 2013. We have just about 15 members. It was formed by late Sherwin Ski Cunningham, who passed. It is now run by Leslie Ann Ellis, Lyndon Rowley, and Emily Nichols Cunningham. So we are still keeping that dream alive and keeping that Calypso passion alive. The Masters Calypso tent is where you come to hear the beautiful Calypso done masterfully. We have an excellent core of members, different mix. We have humorous Calypso, which is done by me, of course. Then we have political Calypso, we have party style Calypso, we have social commentary Calypsos. So we have quite a range of different types of Calypsos that are done in our tent. So it's a well-rounded tent.
So who are some of the Calypsonians that we can expect to see?
Well, you can see myself, Leslie Ann Ellis. We have Rio, we have Caston is part of our tent as well. We have Shamika Dinoon. That are just a few who will be performing on Saturday and Sunday, because we are launching our tent this Saturday. Saturday at the Cultural Complex at 7 p.m. sharp. We are on the second floor to the right. So you come in the elevator to your right, up the step or the ramp, second floor, far right. We are there. We have live band, Caribbean in Excess, which is one of the top bands on the island. So it is an evening full of fun activity and kaiso. And of course, we have a lot of giveaways. So you would not leave empty-handed. You're getting good Calypso and you must win something. So it's a fun evening.
And how many Calypsonians we have on the lineup?
We have about 10 Calypsos on the lineup. We have one or two that wouldn't be able to make it, like Caston, he's in Trinidad, working on duty that he may not be here. Who knows, he might surprise us on the last flight. But we have about 10 Calypsonians carded for the cast, right? And we'll be doing 2 renditions. We're doing original and maybe a old Calypso, like from one of those couple years back, where that is from Lord Nelson or so. So we're having a nice mix here on the evening for the program.
So really good performances.
Yes.
And just a night of just culture.
Culture, that's right, because what is Carnival without Calypso?
Certainly.
Calypso is one of the foundations within the Carnival atmosphere, right? So we're opening on Saturday, and then we are also at the Buku facility, beach facility, where we normally have the Sunday school. We are there on Sunday at 6 p.m. sharp. That is free. So come out in your numbers, bring your chair if you want, stand and have a good time and wheel up yourself. We're coming to enjoy ourselves. It's free of charge, but there will just be a small basket that we will pass just for contribution, so we can go back to making the tent sustainable, because we are not funded by anyone. So anyone who is interested in being our sponsor, we welcome you to be part of our tent. We always try to do certain initiative that we could be sustainable, that we don't have to be behind the authorities all the time for funding. So that's one of the things that we are trying to be better at as a tent.
Certainly. And then, when it comes to even just keeping that art of Calypso alive, because, over the years, it's kind of been overridden by soca and all the other things. And while those are very important, we need to keep Calypso alive. So what are you guys doing? What is the Master Center doing to keep Calypso alive here? And not just at Carnival time, but throughout the year.
Yeah. One of the things our founder, Sherwin Cunningham, believed in is also having workshops, whether it's in schools or outside of the school, but having workshops to encourage the younger ones to understand the history of Calypso and how important it is and how they could write and also execute Calypsos as well. So that is something that we also have in the chain to work on to try to see if we could bring that to light as well. So we're hoping that within the next maybe year or two, we could also have develop a program, because these things will take time. You'll do it a year and you'll kind of tweak it to suit. So within the next 2 years or so, we hope that we could roll out one of those programs to sort of start developing. Because we do have a lot of young children at school that are in Calypso. Some will probably take part in a year or two and then they will drop out, because Calypso is not an easy arena. There is a lot of politics in it as well.
Well, it would not be it's bacchanal time, right? So.
Yeah, so it's just to be able to sensitize young people how to navigate through the industry as well, because most of them, they need guidance to know where to go, what to do, what not to do, etc. So that's what the masters hopefully intends to do. But I guess that is something we have to look at holistically as a team, as a unit, and the board will also have to, weighing on those decisions as well.
What is the thinking with you guys in terms of being able to make Calypso a bit more sustainable? Because that has been one of the challenges over the years, and perhaps why it has lost some of its essence here in both Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I think one of the things we could look at is having more shows apart from just Carnival. But again, persons being able to support the Calypso. So if we charge $60, that is a small fee. People go by the bar and drink that in one go, one rounds. So if we have shows and persons really say they love Calypso and you come out and you pay to hear Calypso, then that goes back to the tent, into the account, that next year we could also put forward a show without waiting on the state to provide us with funding. So the support from the community and the citizens is also important to make the tent sustainable. We can't do it on our own. Even if we contribute to the tent every month, or whatever the case is, that still would be enough to pay a band where a band gonna charge you $20,000 for one night. You know what I mean? So for us to be sustainable, we need the support from the public as well. So you need to come out in your numbers. So we could do this thing together. It's not about us, it's all of us moving together, hand in hand. One hand can't clap.
So viewers, so if you do care about Calypso and if you want to make sure that it does stay alive for future generations, well, this is one of the tents that need to come out and support. And tell the viewers when and where again.
Yes, we are at the Shore Park Cultural Complex on Saturday, 7 p.m. We are on the second floor on the right, 7 p.m. sharp. So please come out so we can start on time. They always say we don't come out early for anything. So come out on time, 7 p.m. so you can have a lovely, lovely time. You could enjoy the show. It's $60 per person, 2 for $100. So we get special at 2 for $100. You know it's January and things kind of tight. So it's 2 for $100, 1 for $60. Come out in your numbers. 7 p.m. sharp, Cultural Complex, second floor on your right. And on Sunday, we are at the Buku Beach facility. That is for free. So come out in your numbers again. We just having take a small basket for a little contribution for the tent, management of the tent. That's also, we want to see you there on Saturday, God's willing, 7 p.m. sharp. The Masters Calypso tent, masterfully mastering the Calypso.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert.
Thank you
so
for having
viewers,
me.
come out and support and make sure that, our Calypsonians can continue doing what they're doing.
Yes.
All right. So, and that's how we're going to have to wrap this morning. Thank you for viewing, and I hope you have a safe and wonderful day. And please remember to be kind. Bye for now.